Parenthood in Minnesota wants to pay teens as young as 13. They're paying them to attend sex ed summer camps. The S'more Sex Education Camp was advertised to kids 13 to 15 who haven't had their first day of high school. That camp in the Twin Cities area was since canceled. They couldn't get enough kids to sign up. But older teens, 15 to 18 in Mankato, the sign up for the sex ed summer camp is still up, and those who complete the program will receive a $150 gift card. Our next guest is a Minnesota mom of 6 and home educator. Karen joins us now to react. Karen, thanks for being here. By the way, s'mores invokes, feelings of a summer, fire, s'mores. No, it actually means science-based, medically accurate, open-minded, responsible sex education. It's encouraging to see that one didn't have any demand in Minneapolis, but there still is a camp in Mankato for kids for hours a day on sex ed. What do you make of this?
Yes, well, first of all, I wanted to say, people might wonder about why I, as a homeschool mom, care about this. And really, beyond caring for my own children, I do care passionately about the well-being of all children in the generation my kids are growing up alongside. And I think although families across our nation have a wide view when it comes to sexuality, I think most families and most parents would firmly agree that we don't want kids sexualizing, we don't want people sexualizing our children. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what this camp will do. It's essentially Planned Parenthood's comprehensive sex education agenda, which they've tried to mandate for many years through the Minnesota legislature. As I've done some research, here are my top 3 concerns and primary dangers of this sort of instruction. First of all, it breaks down kids' natural inhibitions, just the natural barriers they have that protect them from predators. Secondly, it grooms and conditions them to be sexually active at a very young age, which essentially guarantees that they will be lifelong customers of Planned Parenthood. And thirdly, I think it's critical for parents to know that this camp teaches very explicit instruction in how to perform oral sex, anal sex, and vaginal sex.
It's staggering. It's 30 hours. By the way, they're giving out free lunch. You don't have to pay to go, and they give you a gift card. So they're effectively luring families in to say, hey, we want 30 hours with your kid to talk about sex. Here's the camp that was canceled. Here's what they said about it, by the way, the S'more Summer Camp. They said, thank you so much for your interest in S'more Summer Camp. We appreciate the time you took to apply. Unfortunately, we were not successful in recruiting enough 13-year-olds to run the camp. Well, participants who run the camp and are making the difficult decision to cancel S'more this summer. So they couldn't get enough adults to run the camp, and therefore 13-year-olds won't be trapped. This is something, though, that is happening in our schools. They just now want it to happen in the summer as well.
Yes, I think they're just trying to get at kids any way they can. And it's actually extremely disturbing that they're incentivizing this, with money. I mean, I think it's a very fine line between giving a teen financial incentive to talk about sexual activity and role play things regarding it versus crossing that line to actually physically performing that activity and getting paid for doing it. So in this way, I think this really feeds directly into conditioning kids for sex trafficking, which is horrific. And I think we have to put that in the global context of this crisis we have with child sex trafficking. I know just earlier in the show, the movie Sound of Freedom was mentioned, and I highly encourage everyone to see that. I think there's a direct correlation between comprehensive sex education and conditioning kids to participate in that. I learned through that movie that the U.S. is one of the highest consumers of child sex, and we need to be protecting our kids, not conditioning them to be vulnerable to that.
Thank you for being so clear-eyed on this. We also covered this in the Miseducation of America on Fox Nation. Sex ed at its earliest beginnings was about breaking down the innocence of children, which opens the door to so many other things. Karen, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was an honor.
It was my honor as well. By the way, we reached out to Planned Parenthood for a statement, but did not hear back. They're too busy planning summer sex camps for 13-year-olds.